Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into your slides on taxonomy.
You know that system scientists use to classify every living thing on Earth.
Get ready for some seriously cool aha moments as we uncover the intricate web of life.
From microscopic bacteria to giant sequoia trees, and
Everything in between.
it's a journey that spans billions of years of evolution.
Revealing the remarkable connections between all living organisms.
Okay, so
Let's unpack this.
we're talking about taking the incredible diversity of life and organizing it in a way that makes sense.
Our slides mention classifying by structure and function.
Exploring the 6 kingdoms and 3 domains.
But before we get lost in the details, I've got to ask,
Why even bother?
is it just for scientists who love to categorize things?
It's much more than that.
Taxonomy is the bedrock of biological understanding.
Think of it like a library.
Without a system to categorize the books, you'd never find anything.
Taxonomy provides that system for the living world.
So it's all about bringing order to the chaos of life.
Exactly.
Taxonomy provides a universal language for scientists worldwide.
Let's say you discover a new species of plant in the Amazon.
You need a way to tell other scientists
In Japan, Brazil, anywhere.
what you found.
That's where binomial nomenclature comes in.
The two-part naming system we use for all species.
Ah, like our own first and last names.
And speaking of names,
Our slides introduce us to the rock star of taxonomy, Carl Linnaeus.
and his groundbreaking book, Systema Naturae, published way back in 1735.
Hold on, 1735.
That's before electricity.
This guy was observing nature with the naked eye and a whole lot of brain power.
Linnaeus was a true visionary.
He laid the foundation for the system we still use today.
Based on that two-part naming system,
Binomial nomenclature?
it revolutionized how we communicate about the natural world,
Like a global scientific social network.
long before the internet.
And this system gives us a framework.
The taxonomic hierarchy,
Our slides lay it all out from the broadest category domains.
all the way down to individual species,
It's like zooming in on Google Earth.
from the whole planet to a specific street corner.
A perfect analogy.
And just like on Earth,
Life is incredibly diverse.
let's start with those broad domains.
Bacteria, Archaea, and Eukarya.
They represent the highest level of classification.
The big picture of life.
Okay, so we've got bacteria,
Those single-celled organisms we all know and sometimes love to hate.
then there's Archaea,
Also, single-celled. But they're like the extreme athletes of the microbial world.
thriving in super salty lakes, boiling hot springs.
Places you'd never imagine finding life.
You've got it.
Archaea are the extremophiles of the single-celled world.
And while they might look similar to bacteria under a basic microscope,
Their genetic makeup and inner workings are vastly different.
so even though they're both single-celled, they get their own domains.
That's fascinating.
What makes them so special, so different?
Imagine 2 books with the same cover.
But completely different stories inside.
Archaea and bacteria might seem visually similar.
But their genetic blueprints and biochemical processes are worlds apart.
Mind blown.
So judging a book by its cover is a big no-no in biology.
Precisely.
And that brings us to the third domain, Eukarya.
Home to all organisms with more complex cells.
Those with a nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles.
This is where we find the kingdoms we're most familiar with.
Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia.
Ah, the kingdoms?
Our slides show all 6 of them.
Archaebacteria and Eubacteria holding down the fort for single-celled life.
Then Protista, those diverse and sometimes hard to classify eukaryotes.
And of course the multicellular superstars. Fungi, the masters of decomposition Plantae, harnessing the power of the sun with photosynthesis, and Animalia, which includes you, me, and everyone listening.
Each kingdom possesses unique characteristics that set them apart.
For instance, members of the animal kingdom are multicellular and obtain nutrition by consuming other organisms.
We're heterotrophs, as they say.
It's like a giant family reunion.
But instead of awkward small talk, we're tracing back billions of years of evolution.
So we got the big picture with domains and kingdoms.
But how do we zoom in further?
What about those other levels of classification?
That's where phyla come in.
Think of them as branches on the tree of life.
Each representing a major lineage of organisms that share a common ancestor.
Okay, bring on the branches.
Let's explore these phyla. Now imagine this.
A tarantula, a crab, and a scorpion.
All hanging out on a mossy log.
Sounds like a scene straight out of a nature documentary.
Right. But here's the kicker. They're all part of the same phylum.
Arthropoda.
Slide 8 is blowing my mind right now.
Arthropoda is indeed a vast and diverse phylum.
Within the Animalia kingdom.
What unites these creatures?
From insects to crustaceans to spiders.
Is there exoskeletons, segmented bodies?
And jointed appendages?
It's amazing how evolution can lead to such incredible diversity within a single phylum.
Okay, ready for another example?
Let's talk mammals.
We're warm-blooded. We've got fur or hair.
While most of us.
And we love a good cuddle.
Slide 9 places us in class Mammalia.
But here's where it gets really interesting.
We're not alone in this class.
Not even close.
You're right.
Class Mammalia includes a staggering array of creatures.
From tiny bats soaring through the night sky to massive whales navigating the ocean depths.
And let's not forget dolphins.
Those incredibly intelligent creatures are mammals too.
It's incredible to think we share a classification with animals that seems so different from us.
But hold on, how does this class thing fit into the bigger picture again?
That's where orders come in.
Think of them as more specific branches on our tree of life.
Slide 10 shows us that class Mammalia falls under the order Carnivora.
Wait a minute, carnivore.
As in carnivores.
Meat eaters.
But we just talked about whales.
And they're not exactly ripping apart seals for dinner.
How does that work?
You've hit upon a common misconception.
While the name Carnivora might make you think of sharp teeth and ferocious predators,
It actually refers to a group of mammals that share a common ancestor.
one that likely did have a taste for meat.
Over millions of years, evolution has shaped incredible diversity within this order,
Some members, like whales, evolved to feed on krill and other small organisms.
while others, like lions and tigers, stuck with the carnivorous lifestyle.
Wow, evolution is full of surprises.
Okay, so we've got these broader classifications.
Domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order.
It's like a set of Russian nesting dolls, each level revealing another layer of detail.
But let's bring it closer to home.
What about families?
And I'm not talking about the ones we gather with for the holidays.
I'm talking about the ones scientists use to group even more closely related organisms.
You're right.
Families are the next level down in the taxonomic hierarchy.
They group together genera that share a more recent common ancestor.
And get this,
Slide 11 just blew my mind.
roses and strawberries are in the same family.
Seriously.
My bouquet and my smoothie bowl are practically related,
It's true.
while it might seem surprising.
Roses with their beautiful petals and strawberries with their delicious fruit both belong to the family Rosaceae,
They share a common ancestor.
which is what ultimately determines their family ties in the plant world,
I'm definitely seeing the family resemblance now.
in a weird botanical way.
Okay, so we've got families.
But what about genus?
That's like the last name in our binomial naming system, right?
Exactly.
Slide 12 focuses on humans as an example.
We belong to the genus Homo.
So our family name in the scientific world is Homo.
That's got a certain ring to it.
Sounds a bit like a science fiction movie.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
Domains, kingdoms, phyla classes, orders, families, and genera.
It's enough to make your head spin.
But there's one more fascinating piece to this puzzle. Cladistics.
Cladistics offers a powerful way to visualize evolutionary relationships.
Going beyond just physical similarities.
It's like detective work, right?
Using clues to piece together how different species are related over millions of years. Instead of relying solely on physical traits.
Cladistics focuses on shared derived characteristics.
Traits that evolved in a common ancestor and were passed down to its descendants.
These shared characteristics are used to construct branching diagrams called cladograms.
And we've got a couple of slides on this, right?
Slides 13 and 14.
So it's about digging deeper into evolutionary history
Those genetic connections.
to see how life on Earth has branched out over time.
Precisely.
Cladograms are like family trees for species
Each branching point
or node.
on a cladogram represents a common ancestor.
And the branches that emerge from it represent lineages that share that ancestor.
It's like a visual representation of evolution in action.
And it really highlights just how interconnected all life on Earth truly is. It's like we're tracing those ancestral lines back through time.
Seeing where different groups diverged and evolved along their own paths.
These cladograms are like a window into the epic saga of life on Earth.
And the story isn't over yet.
As we continue to explore the natural world and develop new technologies,
Like DNA sequencing?
we're constantly making new discoveries that refine our understanding of these evolutionary relationships.
So what you're saying is
Our current classification system, even with all its intricate details,
isn't set in stone.
it can change as we uncover new information.
Exactly.
Taxonomy is a dynamic field.
What's so fascinating is that Every new species discovered
Every new genetic analysis.
has the potential to rewrite parts of this incredible story of life.
That's both humbling and incredibly exciting.
It reminds me of why we started this deep dive in the first place.
To understand why we even bother classifying life at all.
And as we've seen,
It's about so much more than just organizing information.
taxonomy provides the language we need to communicate about the vast diversity of life
To see the connections between seemingly unrelated organisms.
and to appreciate the profound elegance of evolution.
It's like we've taken a journey from the broadest strokes of life's diversity,
Those three domains.
all the way down to the intricate details of shared ancestry revealed by cladograms.
We've even encountered some surprising family reunions along the way.
Who knew roses and strawberries were distant relatives?
It's a testament to the power of careful observation
Scientific inquiry.
and that human desire to make sense of the world around us.
Absolutely.
And it leaves us with a final, tantalizing question.
As our tools for genetic analysis become even more sophisticated,
How might our understanding of evolutionary relationships
and therefore our systems of classification,
continue to evolve?
what mind-blowing connections might we uncover in the years to come?
It's a question that will undoubtedly drive countless new discoveries,
And each discovery will add another piece to the puzzle.
helping us paint an even richer and more awe-inspiring picture of life on Earth.
What an incredible journey it's been.
A huge thanks to our expert for guiding us through the intricacies of taxonomy.
And for reminding us of the sheer wonder of the natural world.
The pleasure was all mine.
And to you, our curious listeners.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and never lose your sense of awe for the incredible diversity of life on our planet. Until next time.